षट्का प्रदवैकाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यविधि प्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां. There is one chair here also. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We saw this yesterday. We saw verse number 39. Anatmani ahamiti matihi. Anatmani, in the not I buddhi. Identification with the not I, so much so that the I is mistaken, it's forgotten, it's not understood. So anatmani ahamiti matihi is the cause of bandha. Bandha means what? Bondage. Is the cause of bondage, that in anatma, in everything that is not I, what is there? I buddhi is there. So therefore, this is the cause of the great notion of bondage. So this answers the question, how did this Atma become a samsari? Did not really become a samsari. It thinks of itself as a samsari. This Paramatma did not become a samsari, never ever, but as though it thinks of itself as a samsari. Why? Because it is identified with many, many different objects. And it is not understanding itself as the truth of all the objects, the content of the object and the subject, that consciousness I am, it is not understanding. So therefore, the jivatvam is complete, jivahood. When did the jiva come? When was the first jiva? No first jiva. Why? Anadi. Anadi. Anadi means without a beginning. Anadi. First jiva, if it was there, then we'll have problems. That means ajnanam will also have a beginning. If ajnanam had a beginning, terrible problems will be there. Because jnanam and ajnanam are opposed to each other. Tamah prakashavat, a very beautiful expression by Adi Shankara. Like even light and darkness cannot occupy the same place at the same time. Similarly, the what is that? Atma and Anatma and Ajnanam and Jnanam cannot occupy the same place at the same time, because they are opposed to one another. The which is the negative particle, has many, many meanings in Sanskrit. 6 meanings are there. At least some of them we should know. Even if we don't know 6 forms of negation, we should know at least 4 major ones. And what are they? First is, this is called nanj pratyaya. Nanj means the negative particle. First one is alparthe. Alparthe means it is less. It's alparthe means something is less. It's like saying to your friend who invited you for dinner, you say, what is it? You haven't put salt at all in the cooking. In the food there is no salt. Alavanam bhojanam. In the food there is no salt. What do you mean to say? There is salt but very less. It's as good as no salt. Alparthe. Alparthe is one thing, and then what else do we have? We have alparthe and then anyarthe. Anyarthe means anything but what is being mentioned, what is being negated. Abrahmanam anaya means bring anybody but a brahmana. Do not bring a brahmana. Bring somebody else but a brahmana. Alparthe, anyarthe, and then what else is there? Then there is a, what is that? Yeah, one more example for alparthe. Avrishtihi, no rain, means rain is there, but less rain is there. And then virodharthe, virodharthe means opposite, it is opposite. And then abhavarthe, abhavarthe means it is a, what is that? It is lack of something. It is lack, it is less, it is opposite, and it is other than this. These are some of the commonly used negations, and here we cannot say absence or lack. Ajnanam is not absence of knowledge. Why? Because absence cannot create problems. Yeah. Can shashashringa means the horns of a rabbit, can they prick you and create problems? No. Why? Abhava. Abhava. Abhava means absence. Lack, absence. It's not there. So what is not there cannot create problems. Ajnanam creates problems or not? Yes. We very well know. That's why we are here at the ashram, because Ajnanam is creating problems. Otherwise nobody would come to the ashrams. And all the swamis would be out of a job. No job for us. So therefore, we have to conclude that Ajnanam does create problems. Why? Because I experience the problems. The problem of samsara, the problem of taking myself for what I am not, the problem of not taking myself for what I am. These are the two adhyasas. And this is exactly the problem. So Ajnanam has a certain kind of a reality. We have to find out of our three orders of reality, which reality this Ajnanam belongs to. Is it pratibhasikam? Is it all in my head? I have Atma Ajnanam, if I say it. Is it an imagined Ajnanam? Totally imagined? Only I am feeling Ajnanam, nobody else is feeling Ajnanam? No. Then that means it has a certain empirical basis. You cannot completely deny it because one is experiencing it, and you cannot completely affirm it because it is eminently negatable. Therefore, where does it fall? Mithya. It fits the definition of mithya to a T. What the two definitions of mithya, what is that? Adhishthana ananyat, not away from the truth, not away from Satchidananda, that is Adhishthana, the source of everything, technical term. And then the second definition is what? The second definition is Sad Asadbhyam Anirvachya, that which cannot be categorically said to exist and cannot be categorically dismissed as non-existent. So that which is hanging in between existence and non-existence. This is Ajnanam, this is everything else in life. Ajnanam is also like that. And then the next question is, where does this Ajnanam rest? Where does it rest? What is the locus of this ajnanam? Jiva, or where else? Brahman. Is ajnanam as though located in Brahman? Is it, I mean, in English it sounds terrible, but actually is it Brahmashraya? Much better. Or is it Jivashraya? This is a very interesting question. Jivashraya means, is the locus of ajnanam the jiva who is suffering from the ajnanam, or is it who? Brahman. What is the answer, you would say? Okay, we have quoted Trayam. Three groups. One group says it is Jiva, one group says it is Ishvara, and one person, to be on the safe side, says both. With that kind of an answer cannot go wrong, so it must be both. Here even the philosophers cannot agree. We have the two schools of thought here. One is called the Bhamati school. Bhamati was the name of the wife of Vachaspati Mishra. And he titled the book to honor her. A treatise, commentary on the Brahma Sutra. And so engrossed he was a nerd, okay, yeah, he was so engrossed, completely writing. Several years he took. It's his magnum opus. And then he looked up and there was this grey-haired lady. He was also grey-haired by this time, okay? And he got a shock. He said, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And she said, "What do you mean? I'm your wife. I have served you all this time." Not even questioning why you are not participating in life or in any way. And then she says, "Oh, I'm so happy this book is over. Now at least we can have a life, a normal life." And then he feels very guilty because he has taken a sankalpa that after writing this book he will take sannyasa. Poor lady, okay. So the least he can do is what? Name the book after her. So this is Bhamati, very inspiring, but not according to Adi Shankara. It wavers from the kind of Vedanta, it differs from the kind of Vedanta which is Shankara Vedanta in a few significant ways, but still nonetheless very interesting things it mentions. So this is the Bhamati Mata. Bhamati, the people who follow this Bhamati school of thought, so to speak, they say that Ajnanam is Jivashraya. It is centered on the Jiva because Brahman is what? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Jnanam. How can Jnanam and Ajnanam stay in the same place? So if Brahman is Sat Chit Ananda, Chit is Jnanam, and then how can, you yourself said that the Ajnanam and Jnanam cannot be in the same place. So Brahman, which is all knowledge, how can it house Ajnanam? Very convincing, correct? Except the Bhamatikaras, the Bhamati people forget that the Jiva is also what? Satyam Jnanam Ananta Brahman. Jiva is not separate from Brahman. And everything is what? Brahmashraya or Jivashraya? Brahmashraya. Therefore Ajnanam is also what? Brahmashraya. Cannot be Jivashraya. It seems counterintuitive, but this is the truth. When you say table is not separate from wood, then why do you say the chair is separate from wood? Chair is also wood. Chair is also non-separate from wood. Everything is Brahmashraya. And when we say everything, what is the status of this everything? Satyam or Mithya? Mithya. Everything means Mithya. All the whole Mithya Bhutam Jagat is what? Brahmashraya. And therefore, why do you want to just take out ajnanam? Self-ignorance alone is belonging or has the locus of the jiva in it. That doesn't make sense. So everything, and if I know ajnanam is mithya, then every mithya thing is what? Brahmashraya. The locus is in Brahman, and therefore for ajnanam also is what? Brahmashraya. So the ajnanam is what we can say, quote unquote, located in the jiva, or it obtains in the jiva. Why? Because jiva is Brahman. Because for anything, see, for jnanam has to rest in a chetana vastu. Jnanam, any kind of knowledge, has to rest in a conscious being. Correct? What about ajnanam? Same. Ajnanam also has to rest in a conscious being. Can I say this table is ajnani? Will it make any sense if I say this table is ignorant? No sense. We are not expecting it to start talking Socrates and other philosophies. We are not expecting it to spew all kinds of things. We don't expect it. It is neither jnani nor ajnani. It doesn't apply to it at all. Ajnanam also has to rest in a conscious being. And that conscious being is Brahman, but due to the machinations of this ajnanam, what happens is that the jiva comes under its spell. Brahman does not come under the spell of anything. Brahman does not come under the spell of mithya. Jiva comes under the spell of mithya. Brahman does not come under the spell of ignorance. Jiva comes under the spell of ignorance. That is what it is. Why? Because there is a separation. A sense of alienation comes along with this ajnanam. Owning up, there is an owning up and an alienation. And this alienation takes very many forms. Jiva jiva yoho bhedaha, the separation between one jiva and the other jiva. And then jiva jagat bhedaha, jiva and jagat are different. Because, of course, everything that I see is different from me. This is how we go about. Jiva bheda, jiva jagat bheda, and then jagat ishvara bheda. Many religions talk about how the jagat is separate from Ishvara. God made the world. And then, where is God now? Heaven, which is not in the world. It's out of this world. And so, like this, there are many traditions and even certain sects in Hinduism, in the Hindu tradition also, where this Jagat Ishvara Bheda is there. And then final one is what? Jiveshvara Bheda. Jiva thinks itself, is convinced that I am separate from Ishvara. So, the Bhamatikaras will say it is, Ajnanam is Jivashraya, but we say, and who is this we? There is another school of thought which is Vivarana, started by one Swami, Prakashatman, who contested all the points in the Bhamati way of looking at Vedanta and came to this conclusion that this is not tenable. And so this, look at the ancestors. Look at our ancestors, how deeply they have even analyzed ajnanam. Even though we want jnanam, still the ajnanam has also been analyzed threadbare. There is nothing more to add to it. It's a thorough analysis. I am just skimming and giving you a little bit of a glimpse into what this is all about. And so, this ajnanam, how did it come? How did it come means, it did not come. It did not come. Why? Ajnanam has a beginning? No. Has an end? No. Yeah. Whoever said no, see me after class, no matter how late it is. So, Ajnanam doesn't have a beginning but has an end. Ajnanam and Jiva are together here. Both of them anadi but antavan. Antavantaha. All of them are having an end. So therefore what? So therefore this in this discussion about ajnanam and its effects are what? Sorrow and fear, simple. Sorrow, fear and confusion. Chaos, sorrow, fear and confusion. That are the effects of ajnanam. In short, the effect of ajnanam we can say is samsara. What is samsara? Some sorrow or the other. Samsara. It is samsara. This is what is samsara. A feeling of bondage, being bound to sorrow, fear and discomfort and not fully myself, don't feel like being myself, etc. So this ajnanam also rests in a conscious being. It cannot rest in an achetana vastu, not unconscious. What is the opposite of conscious? Insentient. It cannot rest in an insentient object. It has to rest in a conscious being for it to be able to be cognized, for it to be able to be removed, and for it to be able to be tackled. I have to be conscious of ajnanam. When I am conscious of ajnanam, what is it that I am saying? I know, I don't know. I know, I don't know. Then who is the one who knows? Satchidananda. I know that all knowledge, I know that I even know what I don't know. And what I don't know here is Atmajnanam. Very interesting. And so, how does this ajnanam have its pratishtha? Pratishtha means how does it get solidified? How does it get established and solidified? For that we have Maya Shakti discussion which we started yesterday, and now we'll see it in the form of the verse. 40. Akhanda nityadvaya bodha shaktya Spurantam atmanam ananta vaibhavam Samavrinotya shaktiresha Tamo mayi rahurivarka bimbam. Yeah. So even the author here, even Shankaracharya is flummoxed. Just like all of us are flummoxed. How did I get ajnanam? How did I, Satchidananda Atma, get ajnanam? And then here, so therefore the verse, to start on an auspicious note even while dealing with ajnanam, what does it say? It says, let's start on the note of what is Atma. And what is Atma? Akhanda. Advaya. Akhanda means no parts. Advaya, non-dual. Akhanda, Advaya, and then it's in the form of Bodha. So, Nitya Bodha. And then Nitya Akhanda Advaya Bodha Shakti is Atma. It's very interesting because this is also what? Maya is also what? Shakti. So here Shakti is used twice. The first Shakti, where does it come? In the first line only it comes, yeah. The first Shakti, the word which appears at the end of the first line is what? Is connected to Atma. Atma, the Shakti which is what? The Akhanda Nitya Advaya Bodha Shaktya. So this is, so what is that? This Akhanda, this Shakti which is the Atma. What is that power? The indivisible, non-dual awareness, consciousness, shining. When? Nitya, all the time. All the time shining means self-aware, all the time present, all the time without a second, all the time free, and all the time all-knowing. Non-dual and all-knowing. This Atma somehow, don't ask how, somehow what happens? Another Shakti, what is this Shakti? Maya Shakti, samavrinoti, samyak avrinoti. Very nicely gets as though covered, avrinoti. This Atma, which is what? All shining, can never be covered, gets as though covered. That's why we have to keep adding as though. If we say it got covered, then we'll have a host of questions. How to uncover? What to do to uncover? Nothing to do to uncover, because why? It is not covered. Just like Rahuhu iva. Arkabimbam. Arkabimba means the disk of the sun as though covered by Rahu. There also the eclipse is as though. We say, oh, the sun is covered. Is the sun covered? It's because of the sun we can see the covering. Because the sun is there, we can see the covering. And there is one, one student of Adi Shankara who wrote a set of verses called Hastamalakiyam. And there, his name was Hastamalaka. And then Hastamalakiyam, he wrote this series of shlokas. And there he says, Ghanachanna drishtihi, Ghanachanna markam manyante atimudhaha. So the one who is terribly deluded, atimudhaha, what does the atimudha say? The atimudha has Ghanachanna drishtihi. So the atimudha has cloud cover over the eyes, as it were, and then looking through those eyes says, the clouds have covered the sun. The clouds have not covered the sun. The clouds have covered his understanding in here. So same thing here, the Atma is not covered. My understanding is affected. That's what it is. My Atma is never covered. My understanding is affected, just like the sun is never covered by the disk of the sun has the shadow of the moon coming on it, and it looks very dark, but you can still see the sun. Because of the sun you see that there is an eclipse, and even if it's a total eclipse, there is a round, what is it called, diamond ring effect. There's a diamond ring effect, you can see that, and then you can see one part where there is a flare, it looks like a diamond. Should not see with the naked eye, of course, because of radiation and all that, but this is well known, that the sun can never be covered, because if the sun was totally covered, we would not know that there was an eclipse. And so too, in the same manner, the Atma is never covered. We can say as though covered, or we can say my understanding of myself is covered by I am not covered, my understanding is covered. By what? By the thicket of ragadveshas, by the forest of all this anatma with which I have an identification. So therefore, akhanda nitya advaya bodha shaktya. So with the power of the indivisible, non-dual consciousness which is shining, which is not subject to akhanda, means nitya means no beginning, no end. And then spurantam, this shining atma, which is what? Ananta vaibhavam, vibhoho bhava vaibhava. Vibhu means vividham bhavati, that which is all pervasive. Ananta, limitless. This Atma, this Atmanam is as though covered. And what is this Shakti? The Maya. It doesn't say Maya here. So Tamomayi. Tamomayi is the power of covering, the veiling power, which is tamas. Veiling power is tamomayi, means full of tamas, predominantly tamas, which as though covers the Atma, with the, like the Rahu covers the Arka Bimba. So, this Maya also is what? Mithya or Satyam? Mithya. Mithya. Cannot be said to exist, cannot be said to not exist. So it is there, it creates trouble in certain ways because it is ajnanam. So this is the cause of ajnanam, because it veils. What does it veil? It veils my nature from me. And what is this Atma? Very clearly given. Akhanda nitya bodha shaktya sphurantam ananta vaibhavam atmanam avrinoti tamomayi shaktihi. Tamomayi shaktihi avrinoti. This tamas-filled Shakti, what does she do? She avrinoti, we have to say, iva, as though, covers what? My understanding of the Atma as what? Akhanda, Advaya. Akhanda, partless. Advaya, non-dual. And then, what else? Akhanda, Advaya, and what else are there? Bodha Shaktya, Bodha Shakti. I am the Bodha Shakti, Nitya. No beginning, no end, always the same, infinite. This infinite consciousness is as though covered from me. The fact that I am this infinite, limitless, beginningless, endless, non-dual, shining consciousness is covered from me. The understanding is not there. This is what is called the Avarna Shakti. Avarna Shakti means that my truth is hidden from me. That's why I have to study. So many years people study Vedanta. Why? Because it is so deeply hidden. It is very clear in the classroom. As soon as I step out of the classroom, what happens? What? Yeah. This is what happens. In the classroom, I have complete conviction. I am Brahman. And you cannot convince me I am not Brahman. I am definitely Brahman. I was always Brahman. I will always be Brahman. Ever Brahman. And then, never samsari, ever Brahman. As soon as one gets down from the steps and wears the footwear, what happens? Brahman also wears out. Yeah. So very sorry, back to samsari. This is what it is. Why? That means the covering is so thick. And why is the covering thick? Because it is Shakti. That's what it is. Tamomayi Shakti. It covers not the Atma, but it covers my understanding of the Atma. We have to be very careful how we say this. It covers my understanding of the Atma, and therefore it has to be uncovered. It has to be dismissed. It has to be taken care of. How do we take care of it? Because because there is Avarna, then the second Shakti comes into play. Because of Avarna, only Vikshepa can be there. Vikshepa means projection. If there was no Avarna, there would be no Vikshepa. Very interesting. Simple it is. Vikshepa means projection. So, let's go back to our stock example. What is our stock example? Snake, rope. So, there is a rope which I don't see because it is pitch dark. Then what? Do I confuse it for a snake? No. There is a rope at noon. Do I confuse it for a snake? No. Who said yes? Yeah. You don't confuse it when you can see it. At noon, you see the rope. You don't say, hello snake. No, because you know it as rope. So you don't see, when you don't see the rope, you don't confuse it as a snake because it's midnight. Midnight, 12 a.m., when there is an Amavasya, no moon, can you confuse it for a snake? Because you see neither rope nor snake. Then in the daytime, you see the rope. So you don't say, this is snake. Correct? Only when it is twilight. or in an ill-lit place, lightly lit place, slightly lit place, you see something which has 3 bends, and then you say, eek, snake. That is when you make the mistake, correct? So first is avarna, not knowing it is rope, correct? Avarna. This rope, this is rope. It is not known. So therefore, what do I say? This is snake. Then of course I have a flashlight in where? Mobile phone. And then I shine the flashlight. And then what do I say? This is rope. Okay? So first is avarna. I do not know what it is. That is the avarna. Then that avarna becomes that which is avrita, that which is covered, that understanding which is covered becomes a sitting duck for all kinds of projections. Just like rope turning into snake. Now let's go back again to this. First I said, this is snake. And then what happened to the snake when I shined the flashlight? What happened to the snake? It quickly crawled away. It was on top of the rope. It was underneath the rope. It was behind the rope. Where was the snake? In my own head. Yeah, snake is a projection, vikshepa. And in the light of the knowledge, the snake projection was withdrawn. Correct? So I no longer see snake. Now what do I say? This is rope. Now that the word this is very interesting. Same this. This means what? That same locus. Because of ajnanam, it is mistaken to be snake. And when I say this is rope, the same this, idam taya grihitam, that which is understood as this is now seen as what? Rope. But it's very interesting. Well, you can't use the word this in a sentence to refer to 2 different things. Correct? I can't say this door is equal to this door. It doesn't make any sense. Except if it is in a different time, place, and manner. But here that is also not there. You don't see the rope first and then 100 feet away there is snake, or vice versa. You don't see the snake and then 100 feet away it is rope. It's the exact same thing. The locus, the adhishthana for the rope and the adhishthana for the snake is what? Same thing. The rope is the adhishthana also for the snake. This is what we have to understand. So the this means adhishthana. This means the source or the truth. So first this is a mistake. The second this has joined what? The truth. Has joined the truth. And so in this way, the avarna and vikshepa dovetail together. They work together. If there were no avarna, then there would be no vikshepa. Avarna is the troublemaker only in the human mind. Avarna is there, vikshepa is also there. The animals also may do small vikshepa here and there, but we do the most vikshepa. Most projections are from the human head. This is on the micro level of the individual. At the macro level of creation also there is avarna and vikshepa. What is the avarna there? The same thing. The covering of Brahman as the single soul, non-dual, shining truth of everything is not understood. That is the avarna. What is the vikshepa? The taking one to be many trees, many people, many places, many things. And all that is many is what? Satchidananda with name and form. this is not understood, this is the vikshepa. On the individual level, the avarana is that my understanding is covered by what? And here we have to say at the individual level, the covering is the unconscious mind. That is the covering. And the projection are the subjective thoughts and ideas that are projected. So that I do not see the reality. It's always filtered through my own experiences, through my own fears, through my own notions, and through my own misunderstandings. And so therefore, this is very, very fascinating, at the collective level, between the avarana shakti and the vikshepa shakti means that which converts the one into as though many, what should be removed? Avarana has to be removed. For Atmajnanam to take place, avarana has to be removed. At the individual level, it's the vikshepa that has to die down. The avarana becomes, the avarana in the form of the ragadvesha, kama, krodha, is all what? Ishvara srishti. It cannot be removed. Ishvara's creation. Ishvara made it. Sarvesham buddhau ragadveshau vyavasthitau. In every buddhi, ragadvesha is there. Tayorna vasham agachet. That is different. You don't come under their spell, but ragadvesha is not created by you. Ragadvesha is Ishvara's way of making the mind. In every mind there is ragadvesha. So therefore what? I don't come under its spell. That's a different thing. So that means that the vikshepa is removed, my projections. I don't let the avarana, my own unconscious mind with the ragadveshas and fears, etc., morph into subjective conclusions about myself, about the Jagat, about other jivas, and about Ishvara. You see how it correlates? It's so fascinating. At the collective level, the avarana goes, Brahmajnanam takes place, is already there, but it's discovered, it's lived, it is understood, it is enjoyed. At the individual level, the vikshepa has to go. In order for me to understand that, that I am limitless and whole. This is really very fascinating. Pujya Swamiji used to talk about it a lot. So, tamomayi rahuhu iva arka bimbam. Yeah, this is a long discussion. We'll do the next one tomorrow. Enough for today. Yeah. It was a little heavy also. So just go and, what is that? What is the word that is used? Relax, yeah. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om